Hello, welcome ladies. It is officially the start of the Self-Love and Self-Growth Women's Mastermind. This is day 1. I want to extend a very, very warm welcome to everyone who's just joining, who's just jumping in, either on the Zoom link or on the live on Facebook. I am really, really, really honored, happy, and excited, as you can see on my face, that you're joining. Hi, beautiful ladies. We will give a few moments, a few minutes for everybody that has received the emails and has the Zoom link to also join us over Zoom.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome, Yulia. So happy to see you.
Happy to see you, Alina.
Welcome, Sapna. And there's a few ladies joining from here, from Luna House, which is the hub where I'm actually broadcasting live the whole mastermind from this week. So I want to welcome everybody here in the Luna House. There's also another lady joining. I think she's joining from Kenya. So I just want to actually, while waiting for everybody to join, I want to say that I am really in awe and very, very, very happy to see the variety of countries of ladies that have signed up. There's officially around 30 women who have signed up from different countries. In Europe, we have, if I remember well, Germany, Portugal, Romania, Denmark. There's a lady who just signed up from Denmark today. I want to welcome Africa, Kenya, and I believe there's somebody who signed up from Nigeria as well. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful variety. And I'm really, really delighted to be here with you today. So I want to also extend a very warm welcome to all the ladies who are watching this live on Facebook, because we are live on Facebook on the Innovatrix Feminine Entrepreneurship Group. So I really, really do hope you make the most of it. Okay, so we'll give, while everybody's joining, actually, I would love to, we can make the best use of the chat that we have here on Zoom and on Facebook. And so I would love to invite everybody who just joined to type in the chat. Where are you joining from? And yeah, that would be really us from. So you can use the chat to do so. Portugal, okay. So we have somebody joining us from Portugal. Wonderful. I'm actually right now, as we speak, in Portugal. Okay, wonderful. So Sapna, hi Sapna, good friend that I haven't seen in a long while in Kenya. Winnie is joining from Kenya. Welcome. Wow, this is so, so beautiful. I love it. Okay, and I don't know if I can see, this is the first time I'm actually doing both Zoom and Facebook Live. Oh, I can see the comments on Facebook. Goodness gracious. So hello, Virginie. Virginie, let me use my French, actually, is joining us from France. Carmen, wow, Carmen is joining us from Cairo. Welcome, welcome, Egypt. So, so beautiful. Welcome, Carmen. You are super welcome. Madalena, our guest speaker for this afternoon, is joining us from Italy. Welcome, sweetheart. Justina Dina, so happy to see you here. You made it. Is joining us from New York. It's a New Yorker joining us from Paris, and Virginie is joining us from Paris. I love it. Ladies, you are amazing. So I will just start. Go ahead and start. And everybody who's joining will probably see the comment. Tell us, let us know where they're joining from. So warm welcome and congratulations. Congratulations for having made this investment in yourself. This is first of all a time investment. So it's when we speak in terms of knowledge and expansion about investment in ourselves, that includes all sorts of resources. It includes money, it includes energy, it includes time. So the fact that you have dedicated yourself for a full week, don't worry, it's not a full week, it's just 2 hours every day, but that you've dedicated 2 hours of your time every day to either be live or watch the replays of the mastermind is really something to be celebrated. It's already an act of self-love, self-faith, and evolution on your side. So I really, really want to congratulate that. And I have prepared a few beautiful slides for this morning's session. And it's very fitting that we open the mastermind today with a session on self-love and self-trust. First, I want to share a few admin details so that it is clear for everybody. We will be hosting 2 sessions every day. In the morning at 10 a.m. Portugal time, there will be a masterclass that I have the honor and the joy of hosting. It's a different theme every day. So today for day 1, we will lean into self-love and self-trust. Tomorrow we will speak about self-nurture and how to manage your energy better as a woman in business. The third day is focused on self-expression. And the 4th and final day is a big day. It's actually not the final day. I have a surprise. There's day 5 as well that I've just added to the calendar Friday. So the 4th day, Thursday, is about self-growth and wealth. So we go deep into the topic of wealth and money mindset. And on Friday, I will be welcoming you, inaugurating a new project that I have, and I'm super happy to introduce you to. And in the afternoon, every day, we will have a beautiful, inspiring, very highly inspiring woman entrepreneur that I'll be interviewing. So these are women that I have met along my path as well as an entrepreneur, and that I'm happy to say are good friends, and also women that I look up to as well and inspire me to be at my best. So there will be plenty of learnings from each of them. So once again, warm welcome. I would like to, let's see, I'm actually looking at the same time on the comments on Facebook. Hello, Elena. Elena is joining us from Romania. Mara as well, I assume. Hi, Mara. I'm super happy and delighted to see you, ladies. I also want to just make a quick note that today is the 15th of August. I didn't plan it to be so in the beginning, but then I realized it afterwards. So this may speak to more the ladies connected to the European culture, but I think for me, it's very universal. It's a holiday that is very much connected to the divine feminine, right? Because here the mastermind focuses on the feminine energy and women in business. So we are actually celebrating a holiday in Europe today that is connected to Mother Mary. So I just want to note that coincidence, because coincidences are the universe's way of, I feel, of talking back to us and saying, hey, you're on the right path. And as women, we really have this, I would say we really have this inner intuition, this inner connection to ourselves, our bodies, to our empathic senses, and to the outer world, and to a higher power. that always allows us, if we have our intuition in check, and if we are very much connected to ourselves, then we know how to understand the signs that we receive on our way. But let me not get too mystical today and get down to the practical details. So I just want to open with that and say that I'm very, very grateful that even the universe is supporting us with these beautiful synchronicities, that it's energetically, it's a beautiful holiday today, and it's a beautiful divine feminine celebration. So I couldn't have wished for a better way to start. And once again, warm welcome to all. I would like to start. I've actually, I don't know what is everybody's experience of masterminds. There may be more business oriented. This is going to be a blend. This is going to be a blend in the sense that we will look at both the aspect of connection to our sacred femininity and the more business like topics as well. So it's going to be a beautiful, wonderful blend, because we are complex and we are holistic beings. We're not just one thing, as everything is actually at the end of the day in this universe. So I have prepared a little centering, opening blessing. So I would like you to actually sit back, relax, and receive this blessing. It actually came yesterday and I wrote it down. We will start every day with this blessing. And I love blessings, yeah. I have my morning routines, I do my meditations, and I also love blessings because I'm connected to all cultures. I've lived across all continents. I will share that in a moment, almost all continents in this lifetime, across the world. So blessings actually connect us to that higher intuition. So I want to invite you to sit back, relax, and maybe you can take a deep breath. If you want, you can close your eyes or hold your eyes open as I read this beautiful blessing for day one. And it's the same blessing I will go through to inaugurate every day. Oh, let me just let in another lady that's just joined the Zoom call. Vera. Hi, Vera. Okay, so Vera's joining us just in time for the blessing of the hi Vera, you're super welcome. You can write down in the chat where you're joining us from. Warm welcome. So we have just started, and I will read out the blessing for all of us and for the beautiful mastermind. It's an intention and a blessing. So here it is. May we come together in true sisterhood, open to receive, elevate ourselves, be inspired, and grow into our divine right to abundance, joy, health, and well-being. May we each listen with our hearts, reason with our higher mind, receive at a deep cellular level the activations and inspirations through our body, and act from a place of deep resonance with our higher selves. May we support, uplift, and see the best in each other. And may we each receive our intentions for this mastermind, because you each had an intention when you joined. May we each receive our intentions for this mastermind and way beyond what we could have ever imagined. May love and the sacredness and joy of our feminine essence be our guiding torches, igniting our passion and our dreams for the whole duration of the mastermind. And may we be inspired to continue on our path of growth, well-being, and expansion into our gifts and service in the world. With so much love, once again, I welcome you to the mastermind. So this was the opening intention on my side and blessing for you ladies. Vera is joining us from Berlin, Germany. That's beautiful. So Vera, we have here ladies joining from pretty much at least 2 continents, if not more so far. So we have a lady from Cairo, from Egypt. We have ladies from Kenya. We have Portugal and Romania, and all across the world. So with that, let me, without further ado, jump into the morning session. The morning sessions will be always at 10 a.m. Portugal time. They will last for approximately 1 hour. I will do my best to not go over 1 hour every day. And the afternoon session is a guest speaker interview at 4 p.m. Portugal time, also 1 hour. You benefit the most actually when you join live, because you get to sink into this energy and train into this amazing, beautiful, loving circle of women and inspiration. You get the morning inspiration and you get the afternoon inspiration. So I will actually share my screen. I will from time to time share, and other times you'll just be able to see me. Here we go. Please bear with me as I go through technology, through my connection to technology. So let me introduce myself as well. I'm Alina Cristina. I'm originally from Romania. I'm born in Romania, and I love that. I feel that my soul has traveled many, many spaces and places across time. Now I'm based in Portugal, and I'm an entrepreneur, a sacred femininity, leadership, and business coach. And my path has been nothing short of miraculous, filled with challenges as well, and that we'll talk about in a moment, and also very, very gracious. I feel super grateful to be where I am today and to be able to share my gifts and my passion from a place of deeper confidence and deeper alignment with myself and my soul passions than ever before. So the theme of today for day 1 is self-love. I'm going to walk you a little bit through my story and what brought me here, as well as we're going to look at, I want to make every day as practical as possible. So I'm going to walk you through what I understand as levels of self-love in our approach to life, and why self-love and self-worth for us as women is so important. But I will also make it interactive in the sense that I would love to, whenever you have a comment, an idea, something personal that you want to share from your own experience, please don't hesitate to do so. If you're on the Zoom call, you can raise your hand because there's a functionality that says reaction on Zoom. So you can go to that button and click reaction, raise your hand, and I will know that you want to share and speak. And if you're on the Facebook Live, then you can type in the chat, as well as on the Zoom. You can also use the chat to type if you have any particular feedback or something that you would like to share from your own experience with regards to the topic. And then we're going to look at 3 practices to deepen self-love today and always. These practices, you can apply them anytime. And last but not least, I love to finish off every day boosted up and re-energized with a little meditations. And the meditations are different every day. I love, when I work with my clients, I also do these meditations. So the one for today is actually focused on connection to your higher self and trust. So I hope it serves you well. Okay, so a little bit about me. What you can see here is, maybe Sabna will recognize one of the 3 photos here. This is me a few years back, quite a few good years back, like around 5 years ago. I was still in the corporate world. So my background is business, organizational change and management. I have 10 plus years in the business world in the field of HR, of learning and development. So I've always been passionate about education. My focus has been education in the corporate world, and I used to run big leadership academies. I also set up the Leadership Academy for Africa's first unicorn, for Jumia, which is the fastest growing tech company that is African on that continent. And it has been a very beautiful, rich, and rewarding journey. Let me stop sharing the screen here. It's been a very rewarding journey, and at the same time, at some point in that journey, as many of us women realize, and not only women, it's becoming very common for men as well. Oh, Sapna is saying she's definitely recognizing me in all the pictures. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. So not only women, but men as well nowadays are realizing that we live in a day and time and age where it's important to ask the important questions in our lives. Maybe our grandparents and grandmas and dads and moms didn't have the privilege to ask themselves these questions, but we not only have the privilege nowadays, but we have, I would say, even the responsibility to ask ourselves some defining questions, which are, what do I really actually want to do, especially in a world that is changing so fast, and it's changing and it's upgrading. I'm a very optimistic person, so I believe that yes, there's chaotic changes happening in the world, but at the end of the day, chaos leads to a restructuring and a reorganization for a way that actually will serve us better. And as women, we have that knowledge inside of ourselves and inside of our bodies. We can go through chaotic times, but we know how to resurface back up. We have, and we'll talk about it tomorrow when we speak about energy management, we have our connection to the moon cycle. And that means we have all seasons in our bodies, the winter as well as the spring, the summer, and the autumn. But I will go into that tomorrow. So I started asking myself, realizing that my energy, I was overdoing and over-delivering. I was the overachiever in the corporate world, as many of us have a tendency to be. I started to ask myself, what do I actually really want in my life? And actually the whole asking of that question happened after an episode of burnout. And Sabna, you probably don't know about this because I actually haven't spoken about it live before. Let me go back to sharing my screen. So I did experience a pretty rough and scary episode of burnout back in 2018, when I was what some may consider at the height of my career. And okay, I will reshare my screen. I was at the height of my career in the sense that I was running a big leadership academy and designing trainings for 15 countries. I was traveling all the time. So from the external, it may have seemed as an ideal situation, but internally, I was really running all my engines down. I had responsibilities when it comes to designing, to rollout, to doing the whole chain of delivery, all the way to back to incorporating the feedback from the trainings. And I didn't have a team. I was on my own because as the overdoer and the overachiever, my program was, I can do this. And also the I can do this was tied into my self-worth. I was tying my self-worth to the results that I was delivering in the company. And it all actually, I won't go into that, but this is a program we all, most of us at least, not all, but most of us get into early childhood and teenagehood. If we don't get it from our families, we get it from the schooling system, which has it's geared towards competition, grading, comparing, which is really not at all about the feminine energy. It's really about a very toxic energy. I wouldn't even call it masculine energy, because the true masculine energy is about solidity and groundedness and It's about being there for each other. We're going through a shift of paradigms in the world, so we're relooking at a healthy way to deal with and to interact with our feminine energy as well as the masculine energy, because we each have both. And the masculine is going through a shift as well. I really want to honor the masculine. I know this is a mastermind for women, but I want to honor the masculine as well. So the burnout came at the end of a series of trainings that I was running in South Africa. I had just finished a whole round of 2 weeks of speaking, morning till evening, 8 hours a day, standing in front of beautiful audiences of managers. Like, it was one of my favorite things to interact with people and learn about them and learn about their culture. And at the same time, I wasn't in touch with my body. I wasn't aware of my energy. And the fact that I was running all my energy and all my engines down. And it's so incredible how intelligent our bodies are, because the burnout for me happened particularly with like clock-like precision when I had finished and delivered all of the trainings at the end of the 2 weeks. I stepped out of the training room. I was in Cape Town, I remember, and all of a sudden I experienced these fluttering palpitations in my heart, and I started choking. I could hardly breathe, and I got scared because I was a young woman at 30. How old was I? Anyways, 30 plus, still 30 plus, going towards 40. So yeah, it's amazing how intelligent our bodies are. It broke down, but it broke down after I had delivered my duty, the very dutiful Alina. And I remember being rushed by the HR manager there to the hospital, and the doctor that saw me said, "Honey, you really need to sleep." So thank God there was nothing serious, but he said, "She's exhausted. Her whole body is in shutdown mode." I'm even getting the chills as I say this. Her whole body is in shutdown mode. She needs to sleep. She needs to rest. And yeah, she needs to just be in bed as much as possible, which kind of freaked me out because I had finished the trainings. I had to fly back to Nigeria, where I was based at that time. And guess what? Despite the fact that he said that, I did sleep that weekend, and I still went back to work on Monday. This is how over dutiful and overachiever I was. But at the same time, what happened on Monday is I had a discussion with my then manager, and well, the reaction she had is, "Are you good? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, well, okay, let's continue." So it was back on the grinding machine for me in a way. And that's when I started asking myself the question, wait, Alina, you're exhausting and running yourself down for what? Yes, you love what you do, but you could do it for yourself, or you could do it by yourself at your own time, at your own pace, for the people that you feel most called to work with. And you don't necessarily need somebody because I was responsible enough to have actually built an academy that was extended to 500. It touched 500 people. I ran trainings over the years that I was with that company. I ran trainings for over 500 managers across the continent. And then when I left, I actually designed the curricula for the next level, which were 3,000 people in the company. So I had a 3 months notice. So I still stayed with the company. I did decide to leave because that journey ignited my big questions in life. So I did decide to leave the company. I had a 3 months notice. And then during that time, I actually designed the whole curricula for the year to come. This is how I was designed, and how up to a certain level, I am still functioning today. I do believe in self-responsibility, but at the same time, we really need to balance it as women with self-love and self-care and self-worth. So this is what ignited me, that breakdown, my burnout moment, that thank God was not overly serious, because I know other people who have gone through more, even more difficult situations. That was my waking up signal, and I wish that we don't get to experience that we don't have to get there. So I'll go back to sharing my screen and tell you the next part of the story. What happened next is that I decided to take a few months off and travel. So I did travel, and I accomplished one of my lifelong dreams. This was 2019. So I decided in 2019 to just travel and immerse myself in different cultures across the world. I traveled to Southeast Africa, I went to Bali, I went to Thailand, I went to Malaysia, I went to some of the places that I most wanted to visit. And I also allowed myself to, the outer travel turned into an inner travel. I allowed myself to rediscover my passions and understand what is my voice, what does she want to create. And interestingly, I was drawn to energy therapies, not only because of the burnout episode, but because of the fact that as a child, I had always been an empath. I had always it's not for nothing that I ended up working in human resources. I had always had this nagging feeling of understanding, like at a deep intuitive level, what people felt, even what they thought. I could, although it was overwhelming for me as a child, I could sense into what somebody was thinking. I could sense into what somebody was feeling. And I wasn't aware of the fact that I was absorbing a lot of that. So it's a gift, and it's at the same time it can be a burden as well. It's a hidden blessing, the fact that of being such a high empath. So during my 3 months that actually turned into a 9-month sabbatical, I see it now as my journey of rebirth, the 9-month sabbatical back in 2019. During those 9 months, I actually rested, and I also dived like head on and heart full into some of the topics that had always ignited me and inspired me and connected me back to my passions. And I ended up certifying myself in 6 different energy therapies, and I started working with women in that sense. One of them is Akashic Records readings, so psychic readings, speaking of being very connected to what people feel and think. Another one is Reiki, pranic healing, the Kundalini activation process, breath work. I'm a breath work certified therapist as well. And it really allowed me to not only get to know myself better, but it allowed my joyful inner child and my inner maiden to come back out and into the world. One of the most beautiful gifts I could give myself in those 9 months of travel and immersion and relearning, rewiring my nervous system, my body, my energy levels. One of the most beautiful gifts that I could give myself was actually joining women's retreats. And I even joined and did priestess school. So priestesses are women, ancient women archetypes are the women, and I believe all of us have this archetype inside of ourselves, are women that are highly in tune with, highly energetically sensitive, in tune with their intuition, and that take all of life as sacred, that understand that we are sacred, our bodies are sacred, our senses, our knowledge, the life we build on earth is sacred, for goodness sake. We have the right to build a beautiful, fulfilling, abundant, loving, incredibly rewarding life for ourselves. And the more you allow yourself to do that, the more your inner priestess comes out, the one that knows that all of life is sacred and deserves to be recognized as such. And the more you recognize your own worth and your own sacredness, the more you are able to give that recognition as well to people around you, or to extend compassion for those who don't necessarily see that in themselves or in the life around them. So I did a priestess school, which connected me to the feminine archetypes. I love to do goddess work as well. So speaking of spiritual guides, that's one of my passions, learning about the feminine archetypes across all cultures. As I told you, I'm connected to so many beautiful cultures. So long story short, I started at the end of that beautiful sabbatical time, 9 months, I started 2 different brands. One is called Growth Hives, as the beehives, because I love to do everything. I see it as a collaboration with life and with each other. So the first brand is actually more focused on leadership and business coaching, and the second brand is focused, Illuminated Essence is a more recent brand, and it's focused on the energy therapies I do and allowing women through the work that we do together and the one-on-one coaching to really dive deep into their soul callings, their passion, and bring it forth into the world in a way that is aligned with their highest well-being. And later this year, actually, also at the end of this mastermind, I will talk to you about the Innovatrix Academy that I will be launching. And this is my soul signature gift and beautiful offering for women that are ready to step up and live their life's calling and passion in the world right now. Now, let me speak a little bit about, I'm mindful of the time as well, why it's important to establish self-love and self-worth early on as women. I will actually stop my share here, and I want to make it a little bit more interactive. I will kindly ask you to write down in the chat a few, like just a very brief sentence on why do you think why do you feel, right? For women, we have this feeling sense. Why is it important for you in particular? Why has it been important for you in your journey to connect to self-love and self-worth as a woman? Let's see a few shares. Let me check a little bit the Facebook chat. Oh, Laura is here. Hi, Laura. So good to see you. And I can share a little bit as well. I really believe it's important because we're going through a deconditioning at the moment, and when we see it as not only women and men as well are going through a deconditioning. Self-love is a topic that is not feminine prone. It's for all, and it addresses all. I believe that the moment self-love has been so foundational for me. And the moment I realized that can be the foundation for everything in life, and the moment you start from there, then everything is built on a more solid foundation. When I was working in the corporate world, and I still have my highest respect for those times and Alina back then. I wasn't that much connected to actually what's my sense of well-being. I was very much externally connected to what others wanted, but I wasn't in tune with what I wanted. So self-love is actually, I would say, the ultimate journey to self-mastery. And it's not something that is selfish, as a lot of people may have the tendency to see. It's actually self-fulfilling. I love to look at self-love as self-fulfilling. It's allowing yourself to fill yourself up from the inside out. And it's self-filling and self-fulfilling. You fulfill your own prophecy, you fulfill your own dreams. You get to fulfill your own passions when you start from that level. I will go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so I was saying we're going through a deconditioning right now, all of us, and it's self-love actually prepares us to stand in our worth. It helps us in our work life because we get to know when to ask for our worth, and if we are to look at the pay divide in business in between pay dividing between not only the gender but also cultural backgrounds. And I've been a subject of that pay divide and pay gap, not only based on gender but also based on origin. And I have 3 master degrees. I'm overly educated, I would say, and also re-educating myself right now. And despite that, it didn't necessarily count when I was receiving a payslip or a paycheck. My background, Romania, my origin, I mean, as well as the fact that I was a woman and the fact that I wasn't able to speak up for what I really believed my worth was what determined my paycheck a few years ago. So I really believe it's time we step out of it. And so the importance of us really leaning deeper into self-love and self-worth is that it helps us in our work life. It encourages us to ask for our worth. Because I'm not saying everybody should be an entrepreneur. This is not necessarily something for everybody if you don't feel the calling. But no matter where you are, whether you're working on projects, whether you're project-based, self starter or in business or in corporate, no matter where you are, it's so important to know how to ask for your worth. It serves us well in relationships as well, because it allows us to show up from a deep place of self-recognition, and we don't get to fall into patterns of dependency and over-pleasing. Self-love and self-worth also helps us in family when we get to have our children. And actually, the speaker this afternoon, Madalena, can share a little bit about that. It's all about creating time for yourself and knowing that you are worth it. So yeah, and this is where I actually get to share with you today one of the main learnings of the masterclass this morning, that there are 4 levels. Yeah, you can look at it as 4 levels of self-love and 4 levels of approach to life. Because the way you relate to life in general is that the way you relate to yourself. And this is what I found out in my own experience. Everything I share here is based on tried and tested, fallen and risen back up, my own experience. So I used to live life in the first level, and which is life happens to me. And this is what is called victim mentality. So this is what you get to see in people that are constantly complaining. They're constantly complaining about, oh my God, my body is aching. Oh my God, the state of the world. Oh my God, look at what she or he did to me. So the first level of relating to life and self-love is actually life happens to me, which is very much a victim mentality. I think we all know it. The second level is when you go from, unfortunately, I would say some people are stuck at this second level for a long time. And we actually get to see it in pretty big leadership roles in the world, unfortunately. We get to see it in politics. We see it sometimes in business as well. And this second level is life is about me. Yeah. So life is about me. This is very much an ego mentality and ego-driven world, and it actually creates conflict rather than creating harmony in the world. When you feel you're the navel of the world, the whole world is turning around you and it's swirling around you. This is when you are actually the furthest away, I would say, from sometimes from the truth. But a lot of people actually function from that mentality. Life is about me. I gotta be it's the one who gets it all, who sees it all, who does it all. It's been more of a masculine trait, but it's not uncommon in some women as well, because it's all about when the ego takes over. So yeah, that's the second level. Life is about me. And in terms of energy, each level you find it at a higher energetic level. It's a higher energetic level. So When you look at the first level, the victim mentality, and where life happens to me, this is when you have the least energy to do anything because you're so much into the victim mode that you don't have even the energy to get up and do something about it. The second level is slightly better in terms of energy because when you feel like, oh, I deserve everything, I'm the king of the world, you actually have the energy to do things. It's not necessarily the best or most productive for others type of energy, but you do get to do and achieve things. The third level of the relating to life and self-love is actually life happens. It's an empowered mentality. And I hope most people are going towards in the near future, maybe I'm optimistic, are going towards this level. And this is life happens for me. This is when we stop. This is when we take a breath. This is when we don't need a 9-month sabbatical to do that, but this is when we take sweet moments out of our day, whether it's early in the day or right before bed or whenever you have a moment, to self-reflect and to understand where has this day actually, what happened today, how is it serving me? Because everything that happens serves you, and whether it is whether it's a real blessing or a hidden blessing, a blessing in disguise, it serves you. The universe, this big universe, is actually very loving, and it only reflects, it knows how to reflect back to us what is serving us and what is not serving us. If we learn to communicate with the universe, our life shifts so infinitely for the better. So how do we communicate with the universe? It's very, very easy. We can learn to observe and be present. So this is, and you don't need a meditation practice for that. You learn to observe and be present simply means you may have a journaling practice where you reflect at what happened to you over the week or over the day. If any of you has a journaling practice or a practice of just being quiet and observing or self-reflection, please type in the chat yes. Let's see. Because, oh, wonderful. So you know what, so good. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Sadhna says yes, Vera says yes, Luna says yes. Awesome. How about on Facebook? Who's live with us on Facebook? Oh, beautiful. So let me read some of the comments on Facebook. Jacqueline just joined us. She's saying, hi, Jacqueline. So beautiful to see you. Madalena is saying, self-love is the source of power, authenticity, and purpose. Totally. Justina is saying, in loving myself, I can believe that I'm worthy of creating a beautiful life. Absolutely. And that I'm worthy of good things. And Virginie is saying, self-love is important to connect with myself and choose consciously. Absolutely. You get to choose differently when you are in self-love. Choose consciously the best for her higher self. Elena says self-love is the beginning of external love. Oh, and they are all our mirror. Isn't that true? I mean, everybody, this is so beautiful. Yes, self-love is also the basis for having when we deepen into these practices and we make time for ourselves, we start to get little reflections and then bigger reflections of that into our external reality, whether that is through a relationship eventually, or even the way people interact with us at work or on the street, or friends. Friends look at you and say, there's something different about you. So it's like, what has changed? Maybe it's the fact that we're no longer complaining. Maybe it's the fact that we're cheerful for no reason. We don't need a big promotion or a big raise to be cheerful every day. Self-love is an inside job. It's not external. It's not dependent. When we learn, when we claim that power back, that responsibility back, when we learn that it's not anybody else's job to extend us love, but we are the first ones that deserve to extend love to ourselves, that's when we really take a big chunk of our power back. So I was talking about the four levels of self-love and how we relate to life in general. The third one is life happens for me, and that's when we get to start to observe, whether through journaling or just being present and writing a few thoughts about what just happened to us over the past week. We learn to be present with and reflect on what has happened to us, and we learn to decipher the messages from our external reality, from the universe. And the more we do that, the more we realize, oh, actually what happened there happened because I saw, so my perspective and my actions came from here. So to give you a simple example, maybe somebody was really rude and nasty to me at work because I was not even noticing they're around, not present. I was in my mind all the time. I wasn't even saying hello to them for the past 1 month. So how can somebody be all of a sudden nice to me if I haven't even noticed they're alive and said hello to them for 1 month? It's just a silly, simple example. But that's when we realize, oh, life actually happens for me. There's a message in everything for me. And the fourth level is and the final level is when we actually deepen into practices of self-love, self-worth, and we become beacons, I would say. We become rays of that love for the outer world. And it doesn't mean that you don't need to be perfect to be at the fourth level. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody else is perfect. This is not a class or a master class on reaching perfection, but this is a master class that allows us to remember that self-love is a journey. And this fourth level is called life happens through me. This is when you become so conscious of your self-worth that you realize that it's okay for you to allow your higher self and your divine essence and the divine to express through you. This is when you realize that everything you touch is sacred. And that means you go to work with passion for what you do. Or if it's no longer giving you joy and passion, then you get to create something else for you and in your life that gives you that joy and passion. And you do it from a place of, I know I'm sacred. I know that all of life is sacred. And I know that what I can create is truly worthwhile and sacred. This is the fourth level, and it's called life happens through me. And it has nothing to do with being egocentric, but it has everything to do with allowing your higher self and the divine to flow through you, to create, because we are beautiful, powerful co-creators. This fourth level allows you to really deepen into your creative powers as well. And as women, we are natural, innate creators. We are birthed from our mom's capacity to create. And my mom is here. I want to say hi to my mom. I love you. I saw her on the Facebook Live. We are birthed from our mom's capacities to create. We are birth life givers, so we are naturally creators. And what can stumble that capacity to create is just what usually some of the ways we've been told that we need to function. You know, when we overdo, when we don't take time for ourselves, when we don't take time to reflect and be present, and when we don't re-energize, take time to re-energize ourselves, that's when we forget that we are sacred, and we forget that life can happen through us. So we become beacons of change in the world and in our immediate environment. Change doesn't mean that we have to impact thousands of people. It can even be 2 or 3 people on a daily basis. But we become beacons of change in the world when we allow ourselves to deepen into that fourth level of life happens through me. I am worthy and I am an expression of the divine on earth. Okay. Can you feel can you feel the fire of these words? All right. So let me share. I'm gonna go maybe 10 minutes overtime today, if that's okay, because it's also the first day. It's the opening. Well, we did like an open hear from you a few shares at the end. So let me share my screen again. And I want to go quickly through a very simple, another model that is it's been important for me to understand on my journey, and I want to share it with you as well. This is called the triangle, the trapping triangle of victimhood, savior, victim, perpetrator, savior. So a lot of this speaks to, a lot of you may be familiar with the triangle. So if you are, please type yes again in the chat if you're familiar with this triangle. And it's a triangle that can get us trapped for a long time in our lives, that of being either the victim or the perpetrator. The perpetrator is actually the person who has reached the second level of self-love, which was life is about me. It's all about me, and everybody should bow to me. I deserve everything. And I'm not saying you don't deserve, but it's actually about, life is not only about you. Life is about all of life. It's about also everybody around you. So the sacred feminine way is a way of interacting with life where you recognize your own sacredness, and at the same time you recognize that everybody else is worthy as well, and you find ways, harmonious ways, to work with that. The other level that doesn't serve us is savior. I used to be trapped. I'm guilty. I'm the first one to recognize I used to be trapped in the savior level, at the savior level for quite a long while. And yeah, I'm a recovering savior, meaning that I also grew up in a mentality and in a society that said that women had to be the overdoers, overachievers, overgivers, the saviors for everybody, for their partner, for work, and so on and so forth. And no, we are not meant to be the saviors. We can help, but at the same time, like on a plane ride, we have to put our oxygen mask first and recognize that we are worthy first, and extend love from there. And the sweet spot is actually the level 3 and 4. Life happens for me and life happens through me is in the middle, and that's when you start going towards your journey to self-mastery. And entrepreneurship is a deep, deep journey of self-mastery. I'm gonna actually, okay, I'm gonna stop share. I'm gonna share with you the 3 practices that I've prepared. There's a ton of practices that we can talk about when it comes to deepening into self-love, but I prepared 3 practices for today. And before I do that, I wanna actually start recording. I have forgotten to record. Can you realize that? Because I wanted to make this session available to all of the ones who can't join the live. So I'm gonna start recording right now, and I will share with them my slides to make it, I will share with everybody the slides for today, just to make it easier. So for those of you joining on the replay and watching the recording, my apologies that I couldn't record everything so far. What I will do is probably I will take the video from Facebook and share that, because that one has the full, okay, if it's recording, you have to type I agree. Okay, and this recording is only meant for the ladies who have signed up for the mastermind, as well as for the ladies who are joining and watching live on Facebook. There are around 73 women that have joined the Facebook group and 25 that signed up for the live sessions on Zoom. All right, so the 3 practices to deepen into self-love and self-worth. So the first one has to do with writing or journaling. One of you has, I believe Jacqueline, I saw, has commented in the group that she wants to get back into a regular practice. Well, one of the simplest ways for us to get into touch with our self-love and self-worth is having a ritual to write down every day. You can do it in the beginning of the day because that's when it's most efficient, if you ask me. Writing down 3 reasons why you are grateful for yourself and for your life. 3 reasons. You know, a lot of people speak about gratitude practices, but they stop looking at, or they forget to look at themselves, the reason they're grateful for themselves. So this is when you get to acknowledge maybe things or qualities in you that you hadn't seen in a long while. And maybe this is when you get to acknowledge actions that you may have taken yesterday that made you proud. So 3 reasons. Writing down 3 reasons every day why you are grateful for yourself and for your life. And it can also you can also look at things from the past that you're grateful for. So I do recommend this, and I got it. And make the most out of these masterclasses to actually make it a daily practice for the next 30 days. So 3 reasons why you are grateful for yourself and for your life. It doesn't take long. It's just 5 minutes, but it can be so efficient, and it really allows you to start the day from a place of centeredness and balance. The second practice for self-love that I prepared for today looks at expanding our capacity to receive as women. So oftentimes we are so focused on giving, and we are the natural nurturers and life givers, right? We're so focused on giving that we forget to receive, and that we are worthy to receive, and to expand our capacity to receive. So the practice that I've prepared here for receiving is very simple, and it happens here now. I would like to encourage you, let's all type in the chat one thing, each of us, I encourage to type in the chat one thing that you wish every woman in the world knew. So type it right here in the chat. I'm going to type with you. And then I would like, after you type your sentence, to really sit back, relax, and allow and read through the sentences of all the other women that are typing in at the same time, and receive what they're telling you as if they're speaking directly to you, because they are speaking to you. Let's see. What is everybody typing? I am good enough. Yes. Beautiful. So I just typed in, you're worthy and beautiful and stronger than you can ever imagine. That I am love. Whatever I am love. Oh, I'm receiving that as well. Virginie, thank you. I'm going to read it out loud, and you just sit back after you type, sit back and enjoy and relax. I'm going to just read out loud everybody's, what you wish the other women here knew about themselves. Madalena says, you are worthy of following your deep inner calling. Yes, you are, beautiful woman. You are a goddess. Yes, you are. You are enough and deserving. You have the ability to say no. Absolutely. Boundaries. Maybe we'll speak about boundaries as well in one of these days, healthy boundaries. You have the ability to say no, and no, it is okay to say that. You are powerful beyond measure. I'm receiving that too. It feels so good to read through your statements for other women, what you wish other women knew. You are enough and deserving. You can take a break. Oh my goodness, absolutely. I love this. Elena, thank you for writing that. You can take a break. Absolutely. Breaks are allowed. I love every single one of the statements, the wishes that you have for other women in the chat. Can you sense how beautiful, how united, how amazing of a circle of women we are? And as you get to know each of our guest speakers every day, you will see that we are truly a network, truly a network of powerhouse, loving women that is rising across the world, and you are part of that network. Okay, so the third and last practice for, I'm going to share every day 3 practices. So the second one was again related to receiving. How good does it feel to receive these statements and this recognition? You know, we deserve to receive recognition from each other and from ourselves. So I love that you have written in the chat and inspired other women through you seeing and recognizing them. You see and recognize yourself and your worthiness, and your capacity to receive expands. Okay, and the third and final practice for self-love is connected to self-love and self-responsibility. So I would like you to think about one dream you had in the beginning of the year that maybe hasn't advanced that much. Let me take a sip of water. Or it's not where you wanted it to be. A dream that you had in the beginning of the year. You know, we all make our list of intentions for the year. Some of them we do take action, others less so. What's something that you have taken less action on, but it's still it would still fill you up and energize you and make you joyful if you did it? So it could be a dance class, it could be any type of sports class, or it could be maybe one of the online courses that you wanted to sign up for and you didn't have time, or it could be a commitment to see your friends more often. I don't know what you wrote down on your wish list or what you imagined in the beginning of the year. And if you didn't have a wish list for the beginning of the year, then it's okay. Just think about something that has really been on your mind and on your heart to do for a long while now, and you haven't really had the time or didn't take immediate action on it. So just bring that to mind. I will leave you a few seconds to do so. Okay. And after you do so, well, the self-love practice is really easy. Commit to taking one action. It doesn't need to be a big action. Maybe it's a dream, a project you had to do in the beginning of the year, but commit to taking one simple action this week towards it. Can be as easy as picking up the phone or writing a message and inquiring about that class. But commit to taking one simple action towards it this week. And commit to taking another simple action towards it every week for the following month. That would make 4 simple little actions towards it. But by the end of this month, you will probably have made quite a significant progress towards it. I kid you not. And if you want to share with us, with the women present here, you can share what's one of your dreams that you will take a simple action towards. You don't need to share the action, but you can share the dream in the chat. I know one of my dreams has definitely been, that's why I brought it up, dance classes. And now that I'm re-established and back to Portugal, I think I will do that. Okay. Strength training, says Justina. Amazing. Dion says to work on my online training. Beautiful. So one simple action this week and one simple action next. So every week, a simple action for the following month. Awesome. I love these examples. Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. Okay, so before we wrap up and today and we go into the couple of shares or Q&A from you, I just want to do the simple meditation that I have prepared for you today. So we were talking about self-love, right? So this is your moment to receive. It's about expanding your capacity. This is a practice that allows you to expand your capacity to receive today. So thank you for staying with us for so long. And I'll make it sweet and short. I'll make it 5 minutes. And the meditation is super simple. It's a simple centering exercise. I will walk you before you relax. I just want you to know how it goes. I will walk you through connecting to your heart, through grounding and connecting to the energy of the Mother Earth, the energy of the earth, and then opening up to intuitive insights from your higher self. Sounds good? Okay, wonderful. So I invite you to really relax and have your back supported. And you can close your eyes if you wish to. And start by taking a deep, gentle breath in your heart. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. And another deep, deep breath in and a deep breath out. And finally, third, deep breath in and a deep breath out. And allow yourself to drop into your heart. Bring a hand to your heart and maybe a hand to your belly. Bring a hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly. And being in touch with your body, just relax. If there's any tension in any part of your body, bring your attention, bring your presence, your sense of observation to that part of your body and tell it it's okay to relax. I feel, for example, tension in my shoulders right now. So I'm going to tell them it's okay to relax. So you can speak to your body in your own mind's eye and say it's okay to relax. It's okay to relax and receive. You are worthy to relax and receive. And levels of relaxation in your body. And as you do so, imagine that your heart is opening wider and wider. And there's a beautiful glowing light that is shining outwards from the middle of your heart. And that light can be any color you wish. Just be playful and see what color comes up for you today. Can be absolutely all and any color that you wish, the whole spectrum of the rainbow. And relax, keep relaxing into your heart and into your body. And as you do so, imagine a beautiful trunk growing from the bottom of your root, growing from you deep into the earth and growing roots into the earth. You can also imagine it as your tree of life. So you are growing roots deep, deep into the earth, much like a tree, and I would love to invite you to connect. You're invited to connect to the center of the earth, of Mother Earth, and receive her blessings and replenishment with energy, with vital life force, with love, with abundance, with health and wealth and well-being. You can feel more grounded, or you can feel more expanded as you do so. Whatever sensation arises inside of you is absolutely beautiful. And as you have anchored and grown roots, deep roots into earth, bring your attention back to your heart, and also bring it now to your neck and to your head. You can imagine a beautiful, beautiful flower blooming on top of your head like a crown, like the crown of a beautiful queen. And imagine a shower of blessings straight from the divine, straight from heavens, washing over you. Washing over your whole head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your body, your legs. It's a shower of blessings. You can imagine it in white or golden light or any color that feels good to you. The important thing is to receive this shower of blessings with ease and grace. And tune into your heart, and maybe you can hear or see what type of blessings you're receiving today. I'm hearing you are beautiful. I'm hearing you are blessed. You are divine. You are worthy. What are you hearing from your heart as you are receiving this shower of blessings? For the next couple of seconds, I will let you just receive in silence the shower of blessings and tune into what you hear from your heart. You are here now and everything is all right. I'm hearing everything is all right. Everything is gonna be all right. I'm hearing. And very lovingly, you can thank your heart. And you can thank the earth for supporting you, the divine for blessing you. And when you are ready, very gently, you can bring yourself back. This has been a beautiful centering and self-loving meditation, connecting you to messages from the heart or messages from your higher self. As you gently bring yourself back, give yourself space and time to come back. You may want to stretch or yawn or do anything that feels good to you. And if you wish to, only if you wish to, you can type in the chat if you wish, you can type one of the messages you received, or you can keep it for yourself. That's also all right. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you as well. So this is a beautiful meditation you can go back to as you'll have the recording anytime. It's a quick recentering and re-energizing meditation to bring you back into presence and into connection with your higher self and being grounded at the same time into the earth. There's always a very clear energetic explanation and big reason why I'm doing these meditations and why I'm doing them this way. As I told you, I've gotten 6 different certifications in different energy therapies, and the short explanation for today's meditation is that oftentimes we go about when we are outside or at work, we go about our day and we forget to anchor, because our roots is actually where our strength comes from. Today I'll explain a little bit more about the energy center. Tomorrow I'll explain more about the energy centers. But we forget to really stay present and focused and be rooted. And in physical exercises, in yoga, that's where our balance is coming from as well, our vitality, our life force. And the shower of blessings from the divine is actually also a shower of blessings from from your higher self, and from it's a way to connect, to open up and to connect to your higher self. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. This was the first session, the opening session, the masterclass on self-love and self-worth for day 1. Tomorrow we will go into self nourishment. How do we nourish our energy and energy management? And I do invite you for a very, very beautiful, loving talk with this afternoon with one of the most amazing experts I know in the field, who will actually, who can explain it both from a scientific standpoint, why it's important for us to be connected to our hearts and to deepen into self-love, as well as from a personal standpoint, through her life, as well as from an energetic standpoint. She's also multi-certified, and she has many, many beautiful, a lot of amazing knowledge when it comes to energy and how energy works. So I invite you this afternoon at 4 p.m. Portugal time to meet Madalina Petrescu. She's a beautiful soul sister and a cardiologist, one of the top cardiologists in the US, and the founder of HeartQ, and an inspiration, a true joy for me to talk to and to be around. She's one of those people that you just need to listen to and be around, and your energy is boosted just by being in her presence. So I want to honor that and invite you back at 4 p.m. today. And I hope you enjoy the morning session. If you have any comments, please feel free to type them into the Facebook group. And if you're watching this in replay, you're super, super, super welcome as well. And I hope it serves you well. Have a beautiful morning, and I will see you this afternoon at 4 p.m. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all.